Hey there, this is Mini Pots again, and I am doing another week in review. The kids are all busy, the wife is doing her thing. I'm taking a few minutes to myself and trying to get this done. I started this as the premise of it was motivation. I had projects, a lot of kill team stuff, a lot of HS Sigmar stuff, some Warhammer 40k stuff, some other games out there, Silver Bayonet, and no progress. And I am. It's been this whole thing of me recording a video has been great. If you find this interesting, please remember to like and subscribe. I usually forget to say that or say it at the very end. This is a. I'm just doing it for myself. I hope that other people get something out of it. They get some motivation. They see different projects being completed, and then they have some motivation. I started on my mammoths. These are DZ miniatures, and I just started that. And of course, right when I start something and everyone's quiet and content, they're not anymore. Anyway, so I got these. I did a series of painting up to this. I then did an oil of brown, no, mud, Appet Lung 502 dark mud, which helped. But unfortunately, in applying that, I see that I scraped off or rubbed off some of the color. Um, these are resin models, and they're very nicely done. I did not have to do a lot of finishing up, cleaning up. That's the right term. And just the tusks are metal. My daughter managed to take one off, not recently, but I got that reattached. But I have those two started. I would probably play with them as is right now. They don't bother me, but being bare resin did bother me a little bit. I have my cavemen all painted up, all 13. That includes the what, 13 plus 4, so it is 17 minis. And very happy with that in about 2.5 weeks. And I just need to do the weapons, and I have all those. I will try to take a picture and post it at the very end. But well, the basic material is using the stuff from Sprue Dude. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer, but it's a little bit mix of everything. And it's very, very nice. I did a mud of Vallejo mud, and then I put that on. Then I did some Elmer's glue. I did add a couple little grass tufts from Gamer's Grass, the little tiny ones, 2mm tiny. And they are, and of course we have the obligatory Cavewoman there. And these are wonderful sculpts. My next thing for cave people will be the Neanderthals or Cave People by Bobby Jackson that was done for the tribal. I just need to get those on order. But with this tariff thing going on, well, he looks like he has something on his face, but he doesn't. It's just has caused some hesitancy in ordering from overseas, but that's that. I did also work. I had gotten for Christmas some of these resin rock outcroppings, and they are going to be ultimately more gray and blackish and some tans. But I had some extra paint in my airbrush when I was painting these guys, and so some of the same color tones are there. And the worked a little bit on, I got a set of the trees also, or tree stumps. And so those have all made a little bit of progress. But the key thing, very excited about that. And I know I began by talking about the multiple projects I have. So there's this game that just came out, which I hope everyone hides Stone and Bone, and I hope other people have seen my flip through of it and liked it, and excited about that. And so excited I have bought a few extra things for it. I did get my bases done for the tigers and bears, and I just had one of those weeks. I've been watching a little bit of Demon Hunters, a little bit of Stranger Things. I started watching the animated flick on HBO, um, the Caveman with riding the dinosaur who goes through sort of all the different stuff. Um, there is also a real cool video inside Neanderthal on Netflix that I started watching because of Hidestone and Bone. Um, I just think these are the Sabretooth from North Star, and they are great. And I got all those guys finished. Very, very excited about it. And more Cavewomen, more Cavemen, and all those guys are done. Very, 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 very happy about it. I know none of them are holding weapons, but that is okay. I will. I have their hands magnetized. I will be buying some little tiny magnets so I can do that again in the future. And reading Satanic Brides of Dracula, and I picked up a couple other books. When I start getting into those, I'll read them. No more rule books right now. I will be revisiting some other stuff at some point soon, I hope. Um, Warriors of Athena seems to be all the rage right now, and I had gotten these, and I will get them painted at some point. Um, hmm. This is a Reaper Bones Hoplite Greek warrior. I have another one that's a female archer or a lady archer. Female lady. Huh. Is there a difference? And of course, can I find her when I want to? There she is. Great minis. I cut off from the base so they can sink a little bit better into these flat pieces. And I think they'll paint up nicely. They were primed in a enamel primer, which I probably shouldn't have done. I probably should have done my Army Painter gray and then done the Zandri dust over that. But I will be working on those at some point. But right now, my thing is trying to do as much as I can, as long as it's holding my interest for the Cavemen. Looking for a camp for that. I've seen some stuff on eBay and Etsy. I do not have a 3D printer. Will not be getting a 3D printer anytime soon. So pre-printed or made stuff is where I'm at. Or I don't always like the look of the way when people take foam or something and carve something out of that. And so that's why I hesitate on jumping on that train. That's where we are right now. Nothing new in working with Kiddo. He was showing some heavy interest in painting. Now that's subsided, but he is only 8, so today's interest is tomorrow's boredom, and that will change again multiple times over the next few weeks, I know, if not much longer, until things start to settle in. And he has this thing going on, like a lot of us, that he expects to be an expert just by watching me a couple times, and that's not quite where it's at. And I think most of you know that if you're doing this hobby. So I don't know if you can hear that, but I have a little girl who's decided to start singing through the house, la 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 la. And I think it's probably getting to be close to the time where I need to wrap it up. But just thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and thank you for your time. And if you get something out of this, please leave a comment below, and talk to you later.